2025 is shaping up to be kind of an insane year for video games. If you ask me, I would say that 2023 is probably the best year for gaming that we've ever had, with 2018 being sort of, in second place, like the second best game year we've ever had. But 2025 honestly looks like it could take third place or maybe even second place depending on how good some of these games are once they finally release. There are honestly a crap ton of games, like really exciting games coming up. So what I want to do today is go over the ones that I'm personally mostly excited for and mention some of the ones that I think most of you will be excited for too, just to sort of remind you that they're coming, get you a little bit excited for next year, and hopefully introduce you to some that you didn't know were coming. So we're going to start off with my most anticipated game of 2025 with Ghost of Yotei. Ghost of Tsushima is honestly one of my favourite games of all time. I am an absolute sucker for those sort of story-focused games, and actually I was really late to Ghost of Tsushima. I only played it for the first time this year, but it easily shot up to the list of some of my favourite games. So of course I am crazy excited for Ghost of Yotei. Although I do wish they were carrying on with Jin's story, as it did feel like there was more of him to come, that his story was a little bit unfinished. I am very excited to be exploring a new region with new characters and a brand new story. Both the combat and the world here look beautiful too. Ghost of Yotei is set to release in 2025, but unfortunately we have no official release date yet. Now look, if you've been subscribed to me for a while, then you know that I wasn't going to make this video without mentioning my second most anticipated game coming out in 2025, Doom: The Dark Ages. Doom is one of my favourite game franchises ever. I have played every single Doom game and its DLC and loved all of them, besides just one of them that I won't mention because it always causes an uproar in the comments or the Discord whenever I bring it up. But I have been on the edge of my seat waiting for the next Doom game since the moment I finished Doom Eternal and its DLCs, and now it is finally coming in the style of a demonic medieval hell, and I couldn't be more excited. Doom: The Dark Ages is set just before the last Doom game, Doom Eternal, and it looks like it will be the same classic Doom that we all know and love. You get cool weapons, and you rip and tear until it is done. Now, Avowed is a game that I'm kind of excited for, but also very nervous about. Now, I know that I'm in the minority here, but Avowed really doesn't look that good to me. I think the trailers have all made the game look really dated, clunky, and honestly just outright bad. It feels like the more I see of Avowed, the less I want to play it, but I am excited to try it and hopefully love it because it's being made by Obsidian, a company that I love. But yeah, something about Avowed just gives me a really bad vibe. I honestly, like I said, get less and less excited to play it the more footage I see of it or the more people talk about it. But I am kind of excited nonetheless, and hey, it is probably the biggest RPG coming out next year, so it's definitely one to keep your eyes on. But speaking of Obsidian, they are also putting out The Outer Worlds 2 next year, so they've got two huge RPGs dropping in 1 year, which is kind of insane when you think about it. But I've got to be honest again, I really was not all that impressed by the first game. I beat it once and never had any desire to go back. I thought it was way too small, and that horrible blur effect that they put over the graphics made me extremely motion sick, so I didn't really enjoy that. And I never get motion sick when playing games, by the way. It's only happened with The Outer Worlds. Now, however, the trailer for The Outer Worlds 2 I thought looked really good. It seems that blur effect is gone, and according to Obsidian, this one will be twice as big as the original Outer Worlds, which is great to hear because, again, one of my biggest complaints with the first game was that you can seriously 100% it in like 2 days at best. I'm optimistically excited for this one. Now, a game that I haven't seen a whole lot of people talk about, one that I'm personally very, very excited for next year, is Marvel 1943 Rise of Hydra, a World War II game where you play as both Captain America and Black Panther's father when Black Panther's father was the Black Panther. More Marvel story-focused games are always exciting to me and will always make me want to play them. But setting one in World War II with two playable characters that I love, yeah, just sign me up immediately. I cannot wait for this one. Now look, I obviously wasn't going to do this video without mentioning GTA 6, which is rumoured to be dropping next year, but there is no confirmation on that. Just some very reliable rumours, let's say, so I'm still just going to mention it. I love GTA. GTA 5 Story Mode is my comfort game, and I can't wait for the next one. Of course, if it does drop next year, it is easily going to be the biggest game of the year, there is no doubt about it, and if Red Dead Redemption 2 is anything to go off, it's going to be one long, huge game that everyone will be talking about for months. So let's all cross our fingers that we will finally be playing GTA 6 next year. And there are of course many games that I won't get into fully in this video, so let me just list a few that are coming, but ones that I'm not personally very excited for but will likely check out. Elden Ring is getting a new DLC, the new Assassin's Creed game, Shadows, is coming, Spider-Man 2 is getting its PC release, although I will say you are better off just saving your money, honestly. Death Stranding is getting its long-awaited sequel On the Beach, and I still haven't beaten Death Stranding, so maybe it's time that I finally get around to that. Indiana Jones and the Great Circle is getting its PS5 release. Great game, by the way. I highly recommend it for those who are yet to play it. So as you can see, the schedule for next year in gaming is pretty packed, and there's obviously bound to be a ton of surprises, DLCs for games that released this year and stuff like that, some indie games that are going to probably surprise people, you know, things like that. But easily my most anticipated are Ghost of Yotei, Doom the Dark Ages, and of course, if it releases, GTA 6. Real quick video today just to kind of go over everything for next year, and also because I realised that I hadn't spoken about my most anticipated games yet. Anyway, let me know what are your most anticipated games for 2025 in the comments below. Of course, consider subscribing if you do want to stay up to date on some, if not most of these games, and please do leave the video with a like if you would be so kind. And of course, lastly, as always, a huge shout out and thank you to all of you wonderful channel members for their continued support. It means a lot, guys, but with all of that said and done, thank you all for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Peace.